Hello and welcome to
Sestra-Tainment.
I'm Lenora.
And I'm Dee.
And we're coming to you today in regards to
Everything
entertainment. And so today I am going first.
Yes,
and
ma'am.
I am going to talk about a TV show that I saw on the Netflix.
Okay.
And it is called Pulse.
Pulse. Ooh,
Yes,
okay.
Pulse, which is interesting because every time this particular woman is on the screen and she has to say something, it's like, dum, 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 dum. It's like,
Oh, okay.
and then you hear a heartbeat. So it's really weird that it's like constant heartbeats and heavy breathing, but it is how it's set up, right? So what you gonna do? So the storyline, well, let me go into the cast. So the cast involves, the only person I knew or recognized from the cast was the guy from The Boys. So what was his name?
Yeah.
Jesse Usher plays Sam Elijah.
Yes.
And so I recognized him and I was like, oh, I know that guy. He played on that show. Actually, one other person, he plays Luis, and it's Arturo Del Puerto. So I've seen him before in something else. I can't remember what. Maybe I can get it to tell me exactly what else he's done. He's done Camping. He's done The Happies. He's done 30 Nights of Paranormal, Gone Missing, The Devil in the Details. I don't know, certain shows. I don't know any of these, but I know his face. But I don't feel like I've seen any of those shows.
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh, he was in Fear the Walking Dead. That's what it was.
That would be why, because I don't know.
Chicago PD, Ride Along 2, all of those things. So, For All Mankind. I was like, where would I know him from? But that makes sense because I watched so much Fear the Walking Dead.
Yes, that's true.
A lot. So, anywho, so you have the main character is Danielle. She goes by Danny, and she's played by Willa Fitzgerald. You have Xander Phillips. So it's Danny and Xander, and Colin Woodall plays Xander. You have your girl, Justina Machado.
Yeah, I saw her, yeah.
So she's in here as Natalie Cruz. She is like the head of the hospital. So she's the boss. So you have to,
Yeah.
Get good.
Hey, I don't know what you want. I don't know what you want from me. I told you had to be here 20 minutes before you even had to start your shift. That was good. That was good.
That was good. Yeah, because it's funny because she does, like, her mouth moves a certain way.
Oh, yeah,
when she talks, and especially when she gets going, like saying something. So anyway, you have, who else can I talk about? You have the sister to Danielle is Harper, and that's played by Jessie Yates. Her sister is in a wheelchair as a doctor, so I don't feel like I've ever seen that on TV. So I like the fact that we're having like a whole different vibe to like the doctor thing. And they even go into it where at one point this family is like, "You're the doctor," and she's like, "Yeah,
something's wrong with my legs, not my hands, you idiot."
Right,
like,
or my brain,
or
or whatever.
Yeah.
Right. So,
and they have tables now that move up and down.
Imagine that.
Look at that. Forwards, backwards. Look
exactly.
at God.
Well, they weren't feeling like they were getting the proper care for their daughter, even though she was trying to do everything she could. But anyway, then you have Nestor Carbonell. Nestor Carbonell, you know him. He's the guy everybody knows. He plays Ruben Soriano on this, so Dr. Soriano on here. But everybody knows him because he's the guy who always looks like he was
the guy on...
he was on the Bates Motel. He was on...
What was he on, Caroline in the City?
I don't know. I didn't watch that one. But what I'll say is that he always is in everything. He's in Bates Motel, Suddenly Susan, The Dark Knight,
Suddenly Susan, that's what it was.
The Morning Show, Lost. He's everything. He's the guy who always looks like he has perpetual eyeliner on.
Yes, yeah, very pretty.
Very pretty. And he's like, no, I don't have any eyeliner. I've never worn eyeliner. But he always looks like he has perpetual eyeliner on. And then the last person is J.R. Ramirez. And he is on here playing Patrick, I think it's Sanchez. And he is from different shows as well. I personally knew him from Manifest. So he played the love interest of the main character on Manifest, her counterpart in regards to they had a thing, but not the one who ended up having to go through all the pain and the freezing and all of that. Not that Manifest guy. So anyway, long story short, this whole story is about, and it's weird because like I said, the name of it is Pulse, but the whole story is about this guy, Xander. First day comes in and he with the chief of staff, she introduces him and says, hey, this is your new person who is going to be the head resident, right? The chief resident. And so he's coming to us from another location. So everybody give him all the respect that he deserves. He'll work on schedules. He'll do all that stuff. So he's your chief resident.
Right.
So everybody's like, okay, great. No problem. Nice to meet you. A little roundup, So what ends up happening that particular day is that a hurricane comes through, because this is in Miami. And so there's a lot that's going on in regards to this hurricane and everything's happening. So it's kind of like it jumped forward, right? Okay. So you have where he came in and now it's jumped forward. And all of a sudden, there's an allegation while all this stuff is going on.
I thought you were going to say an alligator. I was saying, wait, what? The hurricane they brought the alligator to the hospital?
And it wreaked havoc and chopped off everybody's legs. But no, what ended up happening is the allegations came in where Danny said that Xander assaulted her. Like it was a sexual assault.
Okay.
So you're like, what in the world happened? He just came in, and now all of a sudden, it's like, I mean, the time, of course, elapsed. Yeah. But you're like, wait a minute.
What just happened? Yeah.
What in the world happened?
Could you tell that it was like a different time?
Well, yeah.
Like with people's hair different or something?
Nah, not that. But I mean, you can just tell because they would like, shoo, 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 or something like that. Like they would do a little something to let you know, like, but previous like time, current time, that kind of thing.
I gotcha.
So it wasn't that hard to follow, but you still were like, what the heck happened? Because when he arrived, you could see her like, oh, he's cute. And he was looking at her like, yeah, she cute too. You know what I mean? So you're kind of like, all right, something's probably going to go off, with these two. So then what ends up happening is that I guess Elijah, well, I guess I can't say Sam and Danny both are really good friends. So the one from the boys and her are really good friends, and they talk to each other about everything and they connect and all of that. But little did Danny kind of know that Sam was actually really falling for her and really likes her, right? Okay. And so when she says that there's allegations, of course, he's just like, okay, 100%, I'm with you. I don't care nothing about that dude. Like, whatever. Now, they are also both up for the running of potentially being a replacement chief of staff because once this guy has an allegation against him, guess what?
They're out. He's out.
He's got to be out at least temporarily till they can figure anything out, but they're going to put somebody else in. And they decide because she tells Sam, I don't even want to be chief of staff. Well, guess what ends up happening?
She becomes chief of staff.
No, she was like, I don't even want it. I'm not putting my name in the hat. So when the names come out of the different people who are up against it, Danny's name is on the list. So Sam's like, whoa, wait a minute.
Yeah,
like,
I thought you said
you didn't really want it. And she was like, well, I was talked into doing it, and I should have told you as my friend that I did it, but I honestly didn't think anything would happen. And oh, by the way, since I'm the one that did the allegation against the guy, I sure didn't think that they would put me as the person who could potentially replace the guy.
Yeah.
Because that is a whole weird thing that I don't want to get into the position, because I talked about the fact that I was assaulted by this person, and now it's going to look like I tried to just take his job, that I wasn't being truthful and I wasn't being honest. So what ends up happening on this particular show that drove me bananas is that you can't trust
anything.
You can't trust anything. So you're watching the show and you're like, oh, okay. And all this backwards and forwards. So you see the flirting with Danny and him. So then you're like, was she really assaulted? And then you see, like all these weird scenarios that pop up and you're like, who is telling the truth? Because he literally confronts her and is like, what are you doing? Like, why in the world would you say that?
Well, she sounds like she is trying to get his job, and now she's trying to play innocent against everybody else so she can get his job in the sneak tip and be like, I don't want this position. She had this plan the entire time.
That's what you're trying to figure out. Like, is it that she really was assaulted?
Yeah.
Is it that she is like, no, I just want his job and this is the best way for me to get that. And you think that you're with her as an advocate of her, but in actuality, she is the, what is it called? The, antagonist. That's the word I was looking for. Her, she's the antagonist. So you're like, is that the case? And he's the person that you should be feeling for?
Did she sleep with him and he didn't want anything more and she wanted
That's
more?
another layer to it. Yeah. Did they actually sleep together? And then with that, all of a sudden, now I feel bad. I can't believe I did that. You forced me to feel like I should have done that. And now I'm going to, you don't know. Okay. You really don't know because you see the flirting. Mm-hmm. You see the stare across the room while they're in the hospital. Mm-hmm. You see all of these things and you're just looking at the whole thing like, to me, it looks like two people who are falling for each other.
Yeah, but then...
what happened to make it so that, excuse me, this is what the end result is. And oh, by the way, he's still like, I still care about you. I don't know why you are acting like this. I don't know why you were saying this. And you find out she's broken. Like she is not, she's a doctor, but she's not a healthy person.
Oh, I could definitely tell that. I feel like most doctors probably aren't healthy people.
Yeah. I mean, like her relationship with her dad, that is just very much like, he's got like COPD and different things that are going on. And she goes with her sister and her sister is, first of all, they do tell this story, and I'll just share this, that we'll share part of it because her sister's in the wheelchair because of something that happened in the house that they're going to visit with the dad, right?
Okay.
And so the sister is like, I'm good, because the storyline goes, either the sister pushed her because she was upset at her about something, and now she ended up in the wheelchair, or the dad was drunk and pushed her, and she ended up in the wheelchair. But either way, the sister is in the house with the two people that for some reason she is in the wheelchair, and she's the only one that's good. She's the only one who was like, hey, y'all, let's do this. Let's go get some dinner. And they're just like, I'm not going to go dinner. And like everybody's blaming everybody. There's all this stuff going on. Like, what is happening? So it's like not, it's a lot. Wow. It's a lot. It's not healthy. It's one of those things that I just got so frustrated because to me, it felt like the way it was written, and I don't know if it was the way that it was acted or if it was the way that it was written, but the way that it was written was such that it made you feel like if I could put my hands on her.
Oh, God.
I would. I mean, not like that, but like you just wanted to like shake some sense into her or just like, what's going on? And regardless of all this stuff that's happening, but it's like, why are you being this way with your sister? For no apparent reason. Why are you lying to your friend who you say is your ride or die when you actually did apply to the job? Why are you saying this? Why are you doing that? So they're putting so much in your brain about could she be lying about that because of the fact that all these other weird things are popping up. And she's like, oh, well, I guess I'll go talk to the chief. And then the chief is like, well, I really am frustrated at you because of this, but my higher ups want this to happen. Or, oh, if I save your job, then this is going to happen and it's going to mess up my situation. Yeah. But yet it's like tears and it's this. And you're just like, okay, is this just Karen season? Or is this like a... I'm a damsel in distress white woman and I need everybody to protect me? Or is it kind of no, she's legitimately a broken person, but she's still a good person. She just has things to work through. And unfortunately, she's taking everybody on the ride. Or is it she's just diabolical?
I think she's diabolical, but I don't know. This is her origin story. We're going to find it out.
OMG. So I will say before the end of the season, you do get the answer.
Oh, okay.
You do know. So they don't leave you hanging they leave you hanging with one thing for the end of the season, but you're not hanging in regards to what really happened.
Okay.
And when I say it was to me, I was just like, what? Like it just a bombshell. I was just like, seriously, like what? Okay. I was just sitting there looking at my TV like, okay, all right. So.
Okay, was it a waste of your time though?
No, I don't feel like it was a waste of my time because personally, that's why I said if it was just her acting, and I don't know, is it her script or is her acting? Yeah. If it was just her, I would have been like, ugh. Okay. It probably would have felt like it, but everybody else carried it around so well that it was like, I mean, you got your girl in there. You got the guy with the
you get the storylines of everybody, or is it mainly
You do. So you get that the chief of staff, her situation was that her daughter was in a bus accident. So you have a whole storyline with her and her daughter being on a ventilator, and she has to make the decision before the ventilator runs out of oxygen in a hurricane. Do I take my daughter off of this ventilator to try to breathe on her own? Do I leave her on the ventilator knowing that the power is about to go out because our backup generators aren't working very well, and she will not be able to breathe on her own if I leave her on there until she can, until it runs out of air. Yeah. So she has to make a decision. And
so either way, she got to take her child off the ventilator.
Her child will end up off the ventilator if the trucks that are bringing the extra oxygen can't make it in the storm from something else. So it's like, do I wait and hold out as long as possible to see if those trucks can come? Yeah. Or do I pull her off early to see, can she get enough strength in her lungs to be able to breathe on her own?
Hey, pull that for me, okay?
Pull it
yeah,
off.
pull the, I don't need to be like a vegetable. So.
Well, no, it wasn't about her being a vegetable. Her daughter was fine other than the fact that she just needed a breathing tube.
Okay,
yeah.
So she was, okay, so
she was
they had like
okay.
a medical induced coma.
Yes, something like that.
Okay.
But then
I
if
thought
you're
like
in that, but then you don't get, like if they don't bring her out in enough time, because she kind of had this time frame where it was like, okay, we got like a good 5 minutes that you got to make a decision one way or the other, or else we're going to be too far gone for us to not have the oxygen and her not to be able to breathe on her own. Like we got to make a decision before that can happen. So that was the kind of thing with her situation. You had this situation with Soriano where, the guy with the constant eyeliner, but he is really working to have a protege, right? Because he's the best at what he does. So he's working with this guy to be a protege. And that guy is kind of a little bit being drawn by the glitz and the glamour of being more of a specialized doctor, like the ones who own their own yachts. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Like, so is it that I want to be this kind of doctor that I'm constantly like, oh, I'm staying here at night, sleeping in the hospital? Or do I have a private practice of a specialty of doing X, Y, and Z where I do one brain surgery a month and I've made $400,000 and I buy my own yacht, or something like that, So he was just like trying to figure out how do you work through all those things. You have that same protege who's debating on, do I continue to date the girl at the front desk, or I'm kind of falling for this patient over here. So,
not the patient.
Yes. And then that's a doctor-patient problem, of course, that can be an issue. And so there's different storylines that are taking place throughout. But for me personally, I enjoyed the show. I did not enjoy the character.
Okay.
Whether she's telling the truth or not didn't matter, because of the fact that it was like, girl, why didn't you tell your best friend this? Why didn't you tell the chief of staff that? Why didn't you do this when you had your sister right there? And why are you treating her like a jerk when you might have been the one that pushed her down the stairs? I don't know. Yes. So it's like all these different elements to it. So needless to say, it's called Pulse, and it is on the Netflix. Netflix. Yep. All right. What you got?
All right. So what I have is this is called Government Cheese.
Okay.
And you can find it on Apple TV. I want to go over the cast. So I have David Oyelowo.
Oh yeah.
He plays Hamilton Chambers.
Okay.
And his wife is Simone Missick, who plays Astoria Chambers.
Okay.
Let's see. I'm gonna go over their kids. So he has a son, Evan Ellis, who plays Einstein Chambers. That's the oldest son. His second son is Jahi Diallo Winston, who plays Harrison Chambers.
Okay.
So just to go, and we also have Bokeem. So you have Hamilton. I'm sorry. So you have Hamilton. I'm sorry, Hampton, who is the father, and he was in prison.
Okay.
All right. Now he gets out of prison and he is trying his best to be on the straight and narrow, but he owes money to the mob for something that happened while he was in prison. Right? So he also has this invention, which is a self-sharpening drill. And he kind of finagled his way into working with one of the biggest rocket companies so he can get his drill in there with them. So he's like on the straight and narrow until the mob is like, you owe us $2,000. You got to pay it back. Now, this is $2,000. I don't know what year this is.
Yeah.
I'm thinking it's like this 50s, like the 60s.
I was thinking it was this time, but you're not talking about it being in today's age.
But I can't tell. Remember, it was one of those where I can't tell what year it is, and I can't tell where we are.
Yeah,
because it looks like everything looks like the Stepford area. Everything looks very Stepford. Yeah. Like the wives making the lunches for the husbands and sending them out. And
everybody moving robotically.
Yeah, something similar to that, but it's just like, yeah. So now that he has to pay back the mafia, now things change.
Wait, they're not giving him any money for his self-sharpening drill?
He hasn't gotten up to that yet because he still has to make the drills for them.
Got it.
And he can't get... they don't do advances. So it's like, yo, bro, you gotta have this. So he's trying to get all of this situated. But as this is happening, he's been struggling with himself to be on a straight and narrow or to go ahead and make some quick cash. Now, his buddy, who I said was Bokeem Woodbine, his name is Bootsy. Now, Bootsy is like, hey, man, we can go ahead really quick and...
do a little something.
Yeah, hit this temple, and we can get their money. And while they're in the temple, why does Bootsy go and try to? He's like, man, how much you think I could get for this? And he's pulling out the scroll, the big scroll that they read. Yes. He's like, how much you think I could get for this? He's like, would you put that back? Like, what are you doing?
Oh my gosh.
We're supposed to be taking the money out of the safe.
Right.
So I can pay off these people so I can be left alone. So it's going back and forth from that. But then also from there.
It's such bad karma to steal from a temple.
That's what I'm saying. But then from there, it's the things that fall right behind that. That's like, all right, is he going back to prison? Or is this all just kind of like a coincidental kind of thing that's just going to be floating around him? Is his wife going to be happy with him? Is his sons going to respect him because they didn't respect him? And then like with respecting him, also, I would say his oldest son does. They call him Einstein, and like that is his name. It's because he dropped him on the head as a baby and was like, now he's going to be super smart.
Okay.
And he is super smart.
Wow.
He had like, I don't know, like...
The dent in his head?
No. Sorry. He had a whole bunch of college papers that were coming to him. Like,
for him to go to
to the schools, yeah.
Okay,
and then he got one for Rocket Corps and was like, ooh, and throws all the rest of them to the side to look at the Rocket Corps. Rocket Corps is the place that his father is getting into cahoots with. So there's a whole episode about the interview process. Yeah. There's a whole episode that follows a story of the mother and the wife. It follows her throughout her day. Her trying to get everything situated, but as soon as she sits down and she's all set, something happens. The doorbell rings, or like the kids are calling her, or something like that. Everything just happens, or her weird neighbor comes over and just starts talking to her. So, but it has been a really good show. I do like it. It's like 30-minute episodes, so they're really quick episodes. How many episodes is it? I want to say it might be 8. Maybe no, it's 10 episodes.
10 30-minute episodes?
10 30-minute episodes. Yeah, they are really not long at all. And they're actually good episodes. I mean, it kind of reminds me of like if you were to watch ATL.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like an ATL and the Wonder Years vibe mix.
Gotcha.
So it's like a little strange things are happening, but then we're just not going to pay attention to that, and we're going to go throughout our day.
We're going to do something else.
Yeah, it's like you're going to stop and see something happen weird.
Okay.
And you just you're going to be staring at and looking at it like, what the heck? But the character is going to be staring at it and looking at it with this what the heck look. And then they'll shake their head, and then they'll just go on about their day. Wow. That's what I'm saying. So
it's so what's going to happen by the end? Is it going to tie into is it a Truman Show?
It's just like how ATL is. You have like Lakeith Stanfield would do something weird. Yeah. That whole episode, and then at the end of the episode, he's going back home and say, "Hey man, what'd you do today?" Nothing. Just same old.
Same old weird stuff.
It was like, what? The whole episode you were just running around. So this is what reminds me of it. Like there was a whole like Jonah and the whale type thing that happened. He was sunken into the ground. Just weird dreams about stuff. So that's what I'm saying. It has that ATL or Atlanta feel to it.
Makes you wonder if somebody from something like that is involved in it.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering. I was like, is this what's his name?
Childish Gambino.
Donald Glover, yeah. Donald Glover. So I don't know. It was thinking about it, but yeah, like I said, it is called Government Cheese. Like I said, 30-minute episodes. You can breeze through them really good, and it will keep you watching it so you can figure out what the heck is going on and trying to figure out different things.
Okay.
So yeah, check it out.
Got it. Why is it called Government Cheese exactly? Do we know?
Don't ask questions. I don't know the answers
no,
to.
I mean, I just didn't know. Like, were they eating government? Like, were they on some type of assistance? So that's why, because he couldn't pay, the $2,000.
Why was Monkey Man called Monkey Man?
Monkey Man.
Bad monkey.
Oh, I know why Bad Monkey was called Bad Monkey.
Okay. Well,
it had a monkey in it.
Oh, okay. Well,
no, I'm just joking.
Maybe there's some government cheese in the fridge. I don't know.
Well, okay, we'll see. All right. No, I thought that there was some correlation.
Yeah, no, there's no. Maybe the only correlation is they're the black family.
So that has to deal with government cheese?
Maybe people think that they're on government cheese because they're the one black family that's in a sea of all white families.
Oh, it's possible.
Maybe, I don't know.
All right.
But yeah, it's good. I like it. It's cute.
Thank you.
Check it out. Okay.
Cool.
What do you have next?
Well, I came across that the Amazon Prime was getting rid of 10 TV shows. And I was like, okay. I feel like I hear about Netflix maybe letting some stuff go, but I don't know if I hear as much about Prime. So I said I was just going to go over
they're
these.
just going to take them away for a while?
They're gone. They axed them. They canceled them. They're
done.
They
canceled the TV shows.
These shows are done. And so I saw that one of them was one you had watched. So I was like,
no.
I wonder how my Sestra would feel about this.
Oh, God, what is it?
Okay, so you want that one first or you want that one last?
No, go with first. It's fine.
The first one, I don't know if you even care. So, you might not even care. But
hopefully I'll remember it.
What show? Oh, well, you probably don't even remember which ones were on Amazon anyway. So I'll tell you this because
Power.
I was actually surprised. No, that's
not
Power.
Amazon. What's the one with no? What's the one with the girls and Toni Collette?
The Star one, whatever. Oh, I don't know. I don't watch any.
All the ladies had the powers.
You're talking about American Horror Story or something like that?
No, it was a show that was on Amazon. I'll have to look it up. Go ahead.
Toni Collette. I didn't watch that one.
Oh, okay. I think that one was canceled. I was kind of upset that one did get canceled.
Okay. No, so in the recent months, Amazon has decided to pull the plug on various shows, and one of them has an A-list actor. That I was kind of surprised that they would pull the plug on his show. See, I'm giving you hints.
Yeah,
A-list actor, his show, early. And it is the incomparable Kevin Bacon as the bondsman.
Never watched it.
I thought that you said you watched it. That was the one with him and the devil, and you talked about it.
No, ma'am.
You didn't talk about that show?
No, you must have. The Bondsman. I don't even know what that is.
That is hilarious.
Is that a Toby show?
I don't know. Was it Toby? Was it Terry? I could have sworn you talked about this show.
I don't even know. I just watched the show today with Kevin Bacon in it. That's about it.
That was the whole purpose. I was like, let me let her know that her show might be canceled. Okay.
Wrong sister. What other sister you got out here that I don't even know about?
Oh my gosh. Okay, so The Bondsman with Kevin Bacon is one that is getting canceled. Basically, the show is about... I could have sworn you talked about this. Okay. It says that Kevin was in the leading role of Hub Hollerin, a country music star that came back to life after being murdered. And it was basically that the devil gave him like a second chance.
That doesn't even sound like anything I would watch.
I don't know who watched it, but it says the devil granted the Hub another chance at life so that he could catch demons who had escaped from hell. So they're on Earth, like demons had escaped from hell. So he's
playing like Constantine or whatever.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know.
Okay, yeah.
But yeah, so he's trying to get them and kind of bring them back, and he's, got like different medieval things or whatever, something to help bring them back. So anyway, that's a show that got canceled. All right. Oh, cool. There we go.
I was thinking of The Power with the ladies with the.
I don't know that one.
You didn't watch that one?
Nope.
That one was actually good. It was all these ladies who ended up getting superpowers, electricity superpowers. Men were getting scared, so men were like fearing for their lives every time they saw women.
Oh gosh.
And the woman was like, kind of No, I like this show because it kind of shows how women feel
how
every
women
day.
would be if they could be in power.
Like they would be in an office environment, and there would be somebody like going to like wash their hands, and somebody would just reach around them, and the guy's like,
oh goodness,
like jumping. It's like I didn't touch you. You're fine.
It's fine.
And then wink at him and walk away. You know, things like that. But but that one was that one. Was
no, I'm not familiar with that one. All right, well. The Bondsman is gone.
The Bondsman.
Cruel Intentions. I guess it's the TV show that took the place of the movie.
Stop doing that. They need to just stop doing that.
Yeah, I don't know why they keep. I've never watched the movie.
Nobody
Cruel
is
Intentions.
It's like everybody that is around my age when these movies came out was like, oh, I love this movie so much. Let me make it a TV show. Don't. Because you can't make it better.
Let's leave it alone. Okay. So then the other thing that was canceled was Laverne Cox's show called Clean Slate, which I didn't know Laverne Cox had a show called Clean Slate. So I feel like some of these shows they really didn't advertise.
Laverne Cox show Clean Slate. I did watch that. That one was cute. I think I talked about it with her and her dad. And they had the cleaning, the car cleaning place.
I don't remember that. Okay. If you did, maybe it was a while ago, but I don't feel like this is that old. So no, I don't remember.
Yeah, it's a newer show that just
so no, I don't remember hearing about that one. Clean Slate. I don't think I put that. Yeah, I was going to say I do not think I put that on the list. So there you go. Another surprising axe came from a show called On Call, a police drama, which was actually a #1 Amazon show. It ended up being #1 on the charts, but
was it real? Was it real?
I don't think that it was real. Okay. I think that it was just something that they let's see. Yeah, they just said that they actually are shopping that show around to other people, so hopefully that it will grow and go from there. Then they said that the Citadel, which I thought I looked at the Citadel, but I don't know how these two shows came out of the Citadel, but they said there were 2 spinoffs called Honey Bunny and Diana. Never heard of them, but both of those have been canceled for good. There's a Canadian comedy called The Sticky. You watch that?
Yeah, Margot Martindale. Yeah. See, that's the one I'll be upset about.
Yeah,
it's my homegirl, Margot Martindale. Oh, now you want to say sorry?
No, I'm not the wrong one.
I mean, it was. I didn't think that. I thought it was just a one season thing, like a mini series, because it was just a story about a lady. It was like based on a true story.
Well, I guess maybe, but they said that it was canceled, so not coming back for another season. It says The Pardips of Pittsburgh. Have you heard of that? No. So that one is based on an Indian family that moved to Pittsburgh, and then a comedy show called Harlem. I don't know if you watch Harlem.
Yeah, I watched Harlem. I knew that one was going off the air. I did know that one was going off the air.
Then they said that left a lot of people heartbroken.
With Megan Good.
I never watched it.
Yes, Megan Good. Oh my goodness, there's a bunch of...
That had 3 seasons.
Oh, yeah. It was really, really good. It just basically followed Megan Good and her friends basically through... the city trying to maneuver their way through life, basically.
I hope it doesn't have anything to do with her and Jonathan Majors, where they're like, he's canceled, she's canceled.
Oh no, like they just like the end of the season just went off.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, like when
since the two of them have been together.
Yeah, the first season was out after Jonathan Majors stuff happened.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. All right. So then, let's see, what else did we have? It was one other show, comedy called Almost Paradise.
Almost Paradise.
Do you remember that one? So it says a comedy. So I thought they usually say it was a dramedy, but they're saying a comedy drama.
No, I would not watch this. No.
Okay. So that is, I think, the last one, but there are... some of them are trying to figure out, like, can we shop these around to some other areas as well? So anyway, that was it. I thought that there was a different show that you had watched, but at least some of these you had picked up on. None of these I had actually watched, but wanted to make sure that at least our listening audience knew the fact that there are 10 shows that got the axe, unfortunately, from the Prime list. So not sure exactly if it was, because one of them was a number one show. So it doesn't seem as though all of it has to do necessarily with it being that they weren't getting a lot of eyeballs on them, but it could just be how much it costs to make versus how much they even made from it.
From streaming,
and it may not be worth it. And with everything else that's going on and the cost of everything going up and tariffs, and you don't know how many of the production things come from other parts of the world. So maybe those things went into play as well. But that was it. Just wanted to share what some of those cancellations were.
Cancellations.
All right.
So what I want to talk about is 9 Perfect Strangers season 2.
What?
Yeah.
I did not even know that was
just
out.
came out. Just came out. It just came out Wednesday.
Gotcha. Okay.
So, if you have not seen the first 9 Perfect Strangers, basically Nicole Kidman is the cult leader, I guess. I don't know. It's supposed to be a retreat.
Yes.
But it's like a cult, but it's not really a cult. I guess it's a retreat that nobody knew they were doing drugs at. So people were going to this retreat to kind of get away from phones, people, their life, and just be able to relax and get to be one with themselves.
Yes. One with nature.
And all of the food had shrooms in it. So therefore, people are eating and then going out to the wilderness and talking to dead relatives. Mm-hmm. They are sleeping with each other because their minds are in different places.
Altered states.
Yeah. They are, it's just.
And nobody, I couldn't remember that part of it. So nobody knew that this was what the experience was going to do other than Nicole Kidman.
Yes, that's correct. She was trying to do this experimental thing. So, but yeah.
It's like a therapist or something, right?
And it's people said that it worked, but what the people had to go through.
Yeah. Now, you do know that there are retreats that people take, and they do, like, what is it called? I want to say ashwagandha. But it's
ayahuasca.
Ayahuasca. I always say it wrong.
Yeah.
But ayahuasca and different kinds of things. So there are retreats that people do all over where, they do that. But it's, that
that's what consent. This one was not consent. But season 2, they signed the consent forms. So.
Did they come back?
Season 2, it's a whole new cast. Okay. All right, so with the whole new cast, you still have Nicole Kidman. All right.
Of course.
But then you have Murray Bartlett, which I don't know how people would know him, but I've seen his face before. Alila. I don't know. Okay, that's Brown as Tatiana. You have Isabel Cornish as Lulu. You have Hal Crumpson as Zach. Who else is in here? Oh, Christine Baranski.
Oh, yeah.
She is Victoria. Annie Murphy, who is David. Mm-hmm. She's playing Imogen, who is Christine or Victoria's daughter. You also have King Princess, who plays Tina.
King Princess?
Yes, that's her name. You have Henry Golding, who a lot of people would know him from Crazy Rich Asians. And then you have Lena Olin. Is that her name? Lena Olin as Helena. And Mark Strong, which a lot of people know him as Victor Moriarty from the Sherlock Holmes movies with Robert Downey Jr. And he plays David. Now, he is the father of Peter. And then you have, it's 9 people. It's 9 people. So, basically what it is now, she has gotten, so after all of the crap has happened with the first one and people being upset and speeding off and, wanting to kill her and everything. So now, someone has, reached out to her, which is, the lady that was telling you, what's her name? Lena Olin. Mm-hmm. She is Helena, who is the lady who is funding this new device, I guess, that you can use on your body that disperses the mushrooms throughout your body in a timely manner. So, and then that way you will be able to live and see the person who you have lost in your life.
So you won't need to do the mushrooms because, I mean, you're still doing them just through a device that you put on yourself.
Yes, that you put on your chest.
That's a consent too.
Yeah, So, and like people are so excited about this. They're like, oh my goodness, this is the most amazing thing ever. You get to say goodbye to a loved one. So then that way you'll be able to have some closure. But some things that happen, that's weird things that are coming out that are happening. So it's only 2 episodes out right now because they dropped like 2 episodes with Hulu at first.
Mm-hmm. That's how they do. And then they once a week.
And then it's once a week. So the next one is going to be next Wednesday. Okay. So it is that Victoria, who is Christine Baranski, Victoria and Imogene, the mother and daughter, they were supposed to be there to be able to bring them together. They have a very tumultuous relationship. Okay. The mother decides to bring a boy toy. But this is the thing. They're sleeping in a 2 twin bed room.
Oh, gosh. Okay.
So the daughter's like, yeah, I'm not sleeping in this room with you and your boy toy. Like, she was like, Mom, there's supposed to be time for me and you to be able to become closer. And you're bringing a guy. Yeah. And then the guy's like, oh, no. I mean, like, I will sleep on the floor. I don't have to sleep with your mom, whatever. He speaks broken English. And she's like, okay, I just want to let you know this, Hector. I don't even know if she knows his name. But she was like, but my mother's just using you as a human shield so she doesn't have to deal with me. And she was just like, so I'm just going to get out of here. She's packing her stuff. She has nowhere to go. She has no room. And she's packing her stuff. She's like, where are you going to go? She's like, I'm getting out of here. Yeah. So then she goes downstairs, and while she's sitting at the bar, she meets Peter. Now, Peter's sitting there, and he's like, yeah, I'm waiting on my dad. My dad's supposed to be here, and we are supposed to be having time together so we can bring our relationship closer. So now they are, like, trauma bonding together over that. And while they're doing that, then Nicole Kidman comes in. Yeah, she comes in all sultry and everything, and her name is Masha Dmitrichenko. Yeah, Dmitrichenko. So yeah, Masha comes in and she's like, okay, everyone, let's go, and gets them all together. And she was like, and she has cameras everywhere. Yeah. So she can hear everybody's conversation, so she knows what's going to get under their skin. So she knows that Peter is upset because he's been waiting on his dad. What does she do first thing? Okay, hello, thank you for coming. Peter, where's your father? He's like, he's coming. Should be here tomorrow. He has no idea any information about his father. You know why? Because none of them have phones. Yeah. Because the cell service doesn't work because they're in the middle of mountains.
And you're supposed to turn them all in anyway, right?
Well, no. They said you don't have to turn them in. This is a brand new facility. Brand different place. They're like, you have to travel like by basically a helicopter to get there. Oh, gosh, land, like you got to
land from a helicopter.
Yeah, and then it's like a boat and maybe some all-terrain vehicles,
trains, planes, automobiles.
Exactly. Okay. Yeah, so it's a very remote location. So once you get there, you're there. Okay. Like people go hiking out here. To like climb the mountain, that kind of stuff. Yep. So this is just us now getting to understand what she has in store. Now she has drugged everything. She's drugged everything. The liquor has alcohol. Has drugs in it.
The liquor has more drugs in it.
The liquor has drugs in it. The candy has drugs in it. The fruit has drugs in it. The juice, the soda, everything has drugs in it. So she's like, please help yourself, indulge. Please help yourself. So
she wants everybody drunk and high the entire, high, I guess.
High the entire time. Yeah. And so she...
In addition to putting the apparatus on to meet with your family.
Yes. Now, the thing is about the apparatus, she has the apparatus on herself because she is doing like this TED Talk thing and talking to these people. And the lady who's interviewed her is like, okay, so they're saying that you did this in order for you to see your dead daughter. She said, yes. And they were like, oh, okay. Next question. It's like, this is why I did, like, you expected me to lie about this? Yeah, no, exactly. I absolutely did. And then she said, well, do you still see her? And she's like, no. And then you look, and she looks over in the corner, and she winks at her daughter. Yeah. So, you know, she has a device on herself. So she says, I've tried this on rats and myself and it works.
Okay.
So now she has things that she has some kind of personal thing with these people. It's something that she has personally has pulled those people in. Like the guy that just one guy that she pulled in, he is so upset about this briefcase. He was like, it's the most important thing. He's going off on people. He actually like goes off on a nun and then apologizes and thinks that she works there, but she doesn't. She's like a nun who's dressed in regular clothing.
Oh, wow.
But he has something that she wants. And then she keeps asking, like, she's like, hey, bring this out. Can you show me, blah, blah, blah. She's all amazed by it. And he is struggling with that. So then she's like, you know what? You're doing the best that you can. She was like, and he was like, yeah, it's only me. And she was like, and we're grateful for just having you or something like that. Some words that, you know, really sat with him. And she was like, eat the candy. And she walks out. And then he just opens up the candy and eats it. And then the next 20 minutes, he's talking to like a stuffed animal. And then he's like having flashbacks. He's doing like the more you know type things because of his backstory.
Oh my goodness.
But then it's like, okay, I want them to go foraging. And it's like, wait, I thought you were waiting for everybody to get here because they're waiting for the father to get here. So it's like, why do you want them to go foraging? That's part of the thing. It's like, no, Peter's father's not here. So therefore I have to move things around. I have to do some of the group activities have to be in front before we can do the single activities. So then it's like, okay, all right. So now she puts the guy who just ate the candy
in charge
of foraging. They're in the mountains with snow. What are you going to forage in the mountains in snow?
Ugly.
You have never been there. If somebody put me on a mountain and was like, here, go forage. I don't know anything. No mountain terrain to know what to pull.
Exactly.
Like,
we would all just perish because we would eat stuff that we're not supposed to eat. Or
so what they did was they bought it all, and the guy who was in charge is like, okay, thank you very much. You all did great with the foraging, and now we're going to have you make your dinners. And everybody's like, wait, we didn't pay all this money to come here and play in the woods and then, you know, have to cook our own food. And as they're saying that, one of the ladies is like, this is poisonous. And he's like, well, just throw out the poisonous ones.
Oh my gosh.
So it is so far it's interesting. I want to know where this goes. Masha has a lot of hidden secrets, like she did last season, but you don't know what the secrets are this season.
Believe it.
Nicole Kidman has been busy this year.
Yeah, she has.
Or last year. Last year she was very busy because I swear that she dropped maybe 4 movies and maybe TV shows. So yeah,
I wonder if it's all because she's now the voice of AMC.
Maybe so. Maybe that's part of her contract.
Can't go see a movie without
seeing her.
Kidman.
That's true.
Yeah.
And I will say this, and I'm not trying to be foul or mean in any way when I state this, that there are some angles that they did when they first started showing her that are not good angles of her since she has
had all her work done.
Had some work done. Yes. So then you can see the difference in the angle because now usually when you're recording a movie, you're going to be to the side of a person or over their shoulder when you're showing the person in front of them. So if they're sitting with their back to the camera, they're over the shoulder. Yeah. No, this is below the shoulder screen, like going pointing upwards towards her. So I was like, okay, that was smart that they did that.
So they did it, you think, intentionally to
I don't know.
Have her reflect better?
Or maybe she said, no.
No, we're not doing that.
No, we're
like
not.
How I look, I don't like that look.
Exactly, yeah. Because there are some places that if the lighting is not good, then she doesn't look like herself at all.
Yeah, something going on with her mouth or something.
Her top lip, she has
too much filler in it.
She has filler in it,
like
but she filled from right below her nose down her lip, so it's all of the skin up the top all the way down. But she didn't do the crease.
Yeah.
So she has the cheekbones that's filler.
The cheeks that are full.
So she has a filler in the cheekbones, nothing in the crease, or maybe she did have the crease and now it's worn off.
Yeah, it could
little
have been
Botox, something like
dissolved.
that, in the crease, and then the lip filler is the main things.
Definitely
and
a big lip.
The what is that in your
Botox?
T-zone? Yeah, up here by your
for the 11s in the middle of the thing.
That's what that's called.
Well, when you have the lines in the middle of your eyebrows,
Yeah,
then that's considered 11s.
I didn't know it was called. I was like the cheat zone, whatever. Yeah. So yeah, a lot of women get that filled in because that actually helps with the sagging of the eyes and the drooping of the eyebrows over the eyes.
Would that be the Botox or is that something else?
Oh, I don't know. None of this stuff.
Yeah, it could be. Well, no, I just know the Botox doesn't, like it just paralyzes everything for your forehead or whatever. But
I guess that's probably filler. That's filler.
Yeah, so it might be filler that she has.
Whatever it is in there. So, I'm not a trained doctor, so I don't know. I'm not a plastic surgeon, and I do not play one on a podcast. Okay, no, I don't. So check it out. It is on Hulu. 9 Perfect Strangers. Wait. Is it 9 Perfect Strangers? Yes. I don't know why I was thinking, like, did I just put 9 strangers and perfect strangers together? Like, hold on, wait a second. Yes.
Yeah, it does feel weird.
Yeah,
but yeah,
9 Perfect Strangers on Hulu. Comes out every Wednesday. You can catch the first 2 episodes. All right. What do you have next, sis?
So what I have next, and I don't know if we'll call this a hot topic or not. Maybe I will do a couple of hot topics. But so there is a video of a lady who was at, because for those of you who don't know, which I'm sure everybody does know, the Nottingham Plantation caught on fire.
Yes.
And every time they thought the fire had ended, the fire rekindled. And so because of like the roof. Like everybody's got all these fire songs out there. Like Let It Burn.
Fire man. Fire man.
I got the fire. Everything. So the thing is that with a plantation being on fire, Black people all over the world are saying basically that the ancestors have spoken.
Yeah.
The ancestors are doing this, that there were actual images or things that looked like in the flames, things like a phoenix rising from the top of the home, or it was a plantation. I don't even know if it was still a home or not. I think it was a place that people
it was a place that people use for events.
Like events and weddings and stuff like that. So, and then you had where some people said that it looked like in the flames you could see the images of people. Like it looked like it was potential slaves who, I
remember that saying that,
that it looked like there might have been potential
I didn't really
slaves,
see
like,
it because I didn't really look into it like that.
Yeah. So there's some things. Well, one of the things that I came across was a woman who worked at the plantation and said some things. So here we go. You ready?
Mm-hmm.
Let me see if I can get this volume up real quick.
Oh, Lord Jesus of fire. No, okay. It's not Sweet
worse.
Brown.
He had the most in this region, and that's because
he had the most slaves.
When he purchased a slave, if the slave had a wife and children, he'd buy the whole family so that they would never be separated. And so that was good for them. And then in the village, he built a cottage for each of those families so they didn't have to share with multiple families and squeeze into one space. So that was good too. They could hunt, they could fish, so they could buy for their own food. And they also built a hospital for them, and there was a doctor who would visit every week. The doctor trained one of the slaves to be a nurse to take care of them. So from the readings that we have, it sounds like the slaves were treated fairly well, as well as a slave can be treated, considering the conditions. When the war ended, the majority of the slaves stayed here. We actually have descendants of the slaves who still work here today. Pretty amazing.
Yeah, I remember hearing that.
Yeah, so that is, her giving a tour of the plantation, saying that, oh no, he would just buy all of them, the whole family, and just have everybody in their own little village right here on the property and have a hospital and doctors. And I mean, they were treated the best, and as well as any slaves could potentially be treated, right?
Right.
And I'm sitting here looking at this. Now, mind you, a Black woman walks by as she's telling this, I guess, who happens to need to work on the plantation still today, or before today, because the plantation burned down. But she's just explaining everything, and the woman just kind of cuts her eye at her like, okay, whatever you gonna say, lady, like whatever, but it literally caught on fire. Nobody knows that I have heard. Have you heard anything about how they think it caught on fire?
Annabelle did it.
And so basically when I say it burned, like it was like a matchstick. Like I don't know if it was the quality of the house or that it was so much wood or what it was.
It was probably because it was old, dry wood.
But it was part of it looked like it was brick or something. Like some parts of it did look like, I mean, I can't say concrete.
But it could be plaster that they made.
Maybe it was plaster that back then. Just
no, I'm saying plaster that once they kept it up, wood gets more expensive. So it could be like, okay, we're going to plaster this to make it look like a full column when really it's not.
Possibly. So yeah, but it went up in a blaze of, for some people would say glory. Some people had said that at the end, when what was left was standing, well, let me tell you this too. It was 53,000 square feet, 64 rooms. And it was the basic, epitome of opulence and oppression, of course, because how can you afford, a home that was so huge? 53,000. You have people today who don't even have a 3,000 square foot home.
Exactly.
Much less 53,000 square feet, right? And so basically you have a lot of African Americans who were like, yes, this is... The ancestors have spoken and this is due time. And yes, this is exactly what needed to happen. Now, in the comments for the post that I saw, I mean, there was a lot of frustration in regards to her story, even from people who weren't minorities, who were just like, oh my gosh, how does she say that with a straight face? Like, how do you even have those words come out of your mouth and say, oh yeah, well, they were treated just as good as, you could be treated.
I mean, that's your job. Your job is to do that. Yeah, I mean...
Well, then, is that a job? Like, even if it's somebody's job, does it have to be your job? Unless you feel like you could say it.
I mean, if you were raised into it, you don't know any different.
Yeah, maybe you're right. Yeah. Maybe you're right. Somebody said, sounds like Trump's press secretary. So it was just like, oh my gosh. So yeah, the other thing that I'll share really quickly is from a hot topic perspective, Prison Break. Are you familiar with the Prison Break?
Oh, yeah. In Louisiana, right? Yeah.
Louisiana Prison Break. I forgot how many people it was, like 9?
It was 10 and 5 are still large, I believe.
Is it still? I thought it was like under 3 now.
Oh, it's okay.
I think it might be
they
down
caught
to
some
3.
more today.
So people are hedging bets. Like there's literally bets going on to say, okay, of the ones that are left, how many do you all think are going to make it? Like, how many do you think are actually going to stay gone, or how many do you think are going to get caught? And I want to say somebody even said the local gambling emporium may have actually put up hedging bets to say who do you think is going to
I'm sure they did. I'm absolutely sure they did.
So, long story short, I don't know who's going to make it through.
I don't know their names or anything, but I will say that the guy who actually did there was a maintenance guy who cut off the water.
Okay.
So, and then that way they would be able to get out through something by way of the toilets.
Oh, I saw him go out a door. Okay. You have Derek Groves left, Jermaine Donald left, and Linton Van Buren left. So those are the ones who are left. Everybody else is captured, and everybody's money seems to be on Jermaine. Don't ask me why. They just say, well, he had dreads. He could cut his and maybe look like a whole new person with a cut off the dreads and grow a beard, and nobody will probably recognize you. So there you go. The other thing is just a few quick things as I'm coming across them. So you have Bill Belichick, who has gotten married or has got engaged to his fiance now. The 24-year-old? The 24-year-old. He's 73, so there's a 49-year age gap.
That's disgusting.
And I just thought about that. Like, I'm 52. If my husband is 3 right now. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, does that even make physical sense, mental sense?
Well, you know what it is? So you know how they say that you're only as old as you feel?
Yeah.
So Bill Belichick, maybe in his head, he's still like that 21-year-old football player.
He's not 21. No, but I mean, in his head, he's probably that 51-year-old football player or something. He's not going to feel in his head or anywhere else that he is not, or that he's in his 20s like she is. And from what the saying goes is that she runs him.
Yeah, she does.
He does not.
Remember I was telling you about that the other week.
Oh, yeah. So there you go. And if there was something else I thought, but maybe you have a billionaire, David Geffen, who is 82. When we talk about these May, September, November, whatever.
Don't start me.
Marriages. 82-year-old billionaire has filed for divorce from his 32-year-old go-go dancing husband. They've only been married for less than 2 years, and Geffen is worth $8.7 billion.
Did they have a prenup?
With a B. Supposedly, they did not have a prenup.
Oh, that's the come up for the go-go dancer.
So,
it's like, I do. And guess what? I don't touch you no more. That's what that is.
Oh, my gosh. So, yeah. So, of course, all of the memes and chimes and everybody's like, he's really getting screwed. Oops.
Oh, wow.
Oh, gosh. There we go. Hopefully I didn't hurt anybody. I dropped the phone. But everybody.
But he didn't look like he was, 82?
Well, he is now. I don't know. Well, I guess. I don't know how long they dated before they decided
But he looks like he's like his tennis coach or something.
Yeah.
No,
he met him at a go-go place, a go-go bar.
I mean, yeah, because the gay clubs have the guys that dance on the thing.
And last thing I'll share, which is really sad, so I probably shouldn't have shared this as the last thing, but in Baton Rouge, Paris, Louisiana, a couple, both were killed in separate car accidents, hours apart.
Wow.
So what happened is Alexis Lee, 25, and her fiance, I guess they weren't really husband and wife, they had a child together, John Collins, they were engaged. They were planning to get married in February 2026. She ended up having a fatal car accident when the police called him to tell him to come because she had an accident. I don't think they told him that it was fatal over the phone, but they told him she had an accident 2 a.m. I don't know if she was coming home from somewhere. She, on a place called Plank Road, she ended up hitting a culvert, and the SUV turned over and she died at the scene. So they called him. He got in his car, headed to the crash scene, and on the exact same road at 3:45 a.m., he hit a tree and he passed away.
Gosh, that's horrible.
Literally,
they had
just
kids or anything?
One child.
One child?
Yep. So literally almost 2 hours apart. He was 35 and she was 25. Oh, the kid is probably, I think he's like 4. A 4-year-old son, Gabriel. And so it's just a horrible tragedy. The family who was like, oh, we're so excited they're getting married, next February, all of that. And now they're planning for 2 divorces. So it's so sad and just so...
That is sad.
Unexpected and random, to have it that it wasn't even in the same car. Like that would have potentially made more sense. But him rushing to get to her must have made a mistake or something must have happened. And then he ends up perishing as well. So, and both of them weren't wearing their seatbelts. So if there is a lesson to learn in this, is you have to wear your seatbelt.
Absolutely.
Because I think it's the same thing with Angie Stone. Every time I would see her in a car, she never had a seatbelt on. Yeah. So I would say, whatever you do, people, please wear your seatbelts. Yeah. Okay.
Oh, I do have one thing to say really quick. I know that was sad.
I know,
but I want to talk about. I want to talk about how Denzel Washington had to put the dude in the press in his place.
Saw that.
He was like, he was like, I don't know. There was a lady who actually did lip reading. So let's see what she actually says. But she has the whole thing.
Hey, you're the one who grabbed me, right? Let me tell you something. Stop. You ever put your hands on me again? And that'll be... I'm warning you. You heard me, right? Okay.
The dude grabs him again.
Stop. You got me? Stop.
Then he walks off. And so what happened was the guy was...
You can read that?
I mean, I didn't. I saw some of it, but I couldn't see all of it. But the thing that happened was that he was standing there talking to Spike Lee, and one of the guys just kept reaching over and grabbing his arm and trying to pull him back.
Disrespectful.
It was like, you grab me like that again. He would show you the Frank White that he used to be.
Oh, shucks now.
Right?
But is that the same place where the guy tried to kiss Will Smith and like there was all this stuff? I feel like Cannes is the place where people do some crazy stuff to celebrities or feel like they're not real people.
To Americans. I wonder if they only do it to Americans because like the Americans are crazy. Let's see if we can get them to snap and be on TMZ and we can have some money.
Yeah, you never know.
It could be a possibility. It's hard to say. It's possible.
I hope not. Especially if they're targeting the black men and just making them to come out to look like the angry black men.
Well, we might have just only seen the black men.
Yeah, that's true. Maybe that's the only thing that made it. And other people are like, oh, yeah, grab me. No problem. Yes, how can I help you? So I don't know. You never know. But all right. Well, y'all, that is the end for this episode of Sestra-Tainment. Hope that you all have an amazing, amazing rest of your week. Take care of yourself. Take care of each other. And until next time, bye.